back live. Mo, how you doing? Awesome.
I got you covered, Chris. I got you, buddy.
Yeah. Those were the negative things about this fight, and I just got reamed off the air by Timmy for bringing up the negatives, and now he's probably going to try and tell you why he was so angry about that. But bottom line, those are the things that people are talking about. Those are not the things you're going to read about. The things that people are talking about is what this show is based on. Talking about the things that need to be spoken about. And right now, we know how dominant Pacquiao has been. We know how dominant Cotto has been. We've seen all the footage. We can go on YouTube and watch any of their fights. I want to talk about what are the wild cards. What are the things that might not work for this fighter? What are the things that might not work for that fighter? What about this fight is going to be... I mean, they're not both, all-time dominant. They both have losses. Okay? Why is this fight going to work?
Well, you talk about both these guys, their amazing power that both of them have.
Absolutely.
And you look
insane.
When you look at Cotto, and you see he can get caught by a fast guy, and that's exactly what Pacquiao is. But then you got to look at Cotto and go, and he took some massive punches from Margarito throughout that whole fight. He's going to be able to eat some punches from Pacquiao.
He's going to eat some punches from Pacquiao. Not just a guy his size. This is a smaller guy coming up.
Can Pacquiao hit as hard as what Margarito does? I would have to say with blinding power, yes.
Yes.
Because he's not going to see it coming.
I think Pacquiao can hit as hard as Margarito can with lead in his gloves. With plaster of Paris in his gloves. I think he can.
Now, has Pacquiao been hit as hard as what Cotto can throw?
That's the big thing. I don't think Pacquiao's punching power is even worth discussing. He's got it. He's got all of it he wants. He's also got all the speed and all the crazy-ass angles that he could ever want to deal with.
I think that's what's dangerous.
Cotto's... All Pacquiao needs to do is taste Cotto's power one or two times, and you might see a change of game plan real quick.
I mean, that's exactly what his trainer brought up. Freddie Roach said, I'm not worried about him fighting these lighter guys at the smaller guys at welterweight. I go, my worry is when he starts fighting the bigger guys, the bigger punchers.
Yeah.
No one's bigger puncher than Cotto.
No one's bigger puncher than Cotto. But you gotta stand back and say your pledge of allegiance to the magical land that is Manny Pacquiao.
Because just signing on that dotted line.
He could be fighting anyone at welter he wants.
He can fight anybody in the world he wants. They're going to sign to fight him.
Exactly. Pick a weight class.
Oh, you're going to give me $1 million? I'll fight you.
He could go in there
it ain't even $1 million. It's a few million.
I mean, if you're fighting Cotto, it is. But anybody could sign for $1 million.
He could fight against Paul Williams. He could probably beat him. He could fight against anyone you want. He could fight Bernard Hopkins. And they'd go for another damn diamond belt, because that would be a catch weight, because Bernard ain't coming down.
I know, Timmy just brought up that anybody's going to fight for more than... Now, David Diaz didn't get multi-millions for this. He didn't even get $1 million for this fight against Pacquiao.
He was the belt holder, though.
And he didn't get $1 million.
He got
in the hundred thousands, but he did not.
I'm not talking about money. He was announced second.
Yes.
He came to the ring second. He was the man. That was his shining moment, and unfortunately it ended in a knockout. Awesome fight. I want to talk a second about all the fighters that I spoke to on the phone in the last couple days. BJ Flores, current cruiserweight contender, says that Cotto is actually in Vegas at plus 275. Pacquiao's actually in Vegas at minus 240. So he is physically... BJ Flores flat out is personally going to put money on Cotto just because of all the money there is to win. He's very, very excited about this.
Yeah, that's saying that Cotto's the underdog by that much.
Yeah.
That he can win a lot more if he bets on Cotto.
It's
not easy to bet against Pacquiao.
No. Not many people have.
It's not easy to win money when your
guy
loses.
No, generally not. People have not made fortunes by betting against Manny Pacquiao, not in the last decade. Eddie Chambers heavyweight phenom right now. He's American too, flat out going Pacquiao. Cotto's bigger, but Cotto actually had to lose some weight in order to fight this fight. Pac-Man gets to show up at his weight, and that's a positive.
At a weight
at whatever weight he's decided to. I mean, whatever weight he's decided to be. And Eddie Chambers also says that that Freddie Roach always has that magic game plan in his back pocket. He sits there and watches endless hours of tape in order to decide what the opponents are going to do wrong and how to jump on it. Baby Joe Macy, I spoke to yesterday. He says if he was a betting man, he'd go with Pacquiao, but don't be surprised if Cotto shocks the world. So he didn't.
He found that fence line there.
He found it, straddled the hell out of it. I spoke to Raul Cobrita Martinez, young up-and-comer. We had him on the show last year, actually. He says Cotto. He says Cotto is the man. That's one of his favorite fighters. He can't imagine anyone.
Now, is he
Cotto
Puerto Rican?
I don't know. I know he's Latino. I'm not about to go assuming, but I know that he chose Cotto because he told me. Jesus Chavez, who we just saw fight David Diaz in Chicago last month and lose a contested decision. He says Pacquiao's got enough power to knock out Cotto. And he also wants to mention that Jesus Chavez himself is going to be fighting Humberto Soto in Humberto Soto's hometown in Mexico. Not that Mexico's a town. But in Soto's hometown, which happens to be in Mexico.
Is it called Soto's hometown? Is Soto hometown Mexico?
He also says that Cotto's chin is questionable.
I don't know.
That's what Jesus Chavez says. And the best quote...
It's questionable when you fight guys that are
cheating.
Well, not just cheating. I mean, he got rocked by Torres.
Sure.
Ricardo Torres as well. So, I mean, these are guys that are hard-handed guys.
Yes. And the quote of the evening goes to James Buddy McGirt, one of the greatest trainers out there. He says, it's a pick'em, and I'm just going to sit back, drink some cognac, and enjoy this fight. He goes, I don't have anything to do with this fight for once. I'm not going to be part of the fight of the year. I don't have a fighter in this. I'm going to sit back, invite some friends over, and I'm just watching a drag-out fight.
But if you take his quote along with B.J. Flores' quote, he brought up the odds.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's saying it's a pick'em fight, so he's saying it's an even fight, and then you look at the odds. It's a very good bet then for Cotto, in his eyes.
Exactly. Oh, BJ lives in Vegas. That's what he does. That's what he does. Since he doesn't fight all that often, he's supplementing
once a year.
He's supplementing his income. He is going to be fighting on the undercard of the February 13th Hopkins versus Jones rematch.
Not often on Jones's undercards.
He's BJ Flores is ranked 6th by the IBF and 2nd by the WBO. Marco Huck, he says if he can't beat Marco Huck, he's going to retire. That's what BJ Flores says. Gotta love that. All right, fighter you should know. Fighter you should know tonight.
We ain't taking picks, are we?
Oh yeah, we haven't done our picks yet. We have to toss that in though. Personally, like you said, people don't get rich by picking against Pacquiao. I have to go Pacquiao. It will not be a knockout, though.
I'm going by Pacquiao with his pure speed. I don't think Cotto's going to be able to see the punch coming. I think that's what's going to hurt him.
Okay. And Timmy's definitely going Cotto because I said Pacquiao.
No, actually, I would actually have to go Pacquiao with this because, like you said, he's done it for damn near a decade now, so you can't go against a streak.
So Cotto's not as smart money as we think.
I don't know.
Just because we said it.
Yeah, Cotto is smart money because it's the odds.
Tonight's fighter you should know, and I'm going to try and slide this in. Jimmy Berry, known as the Little Tiger. Berry boxed from 1891 to 1899 and was one of the first fighters from the lightweight classes to gain popularity in the United States. Although his weight fluctuated between 100 and 115, he's best remembered as a bantamweight. In his first significant bout, Berry knocked out Jack Levy in 17 rounds for the 100-pound world championship. He was only 5'2". He had exceptional power for the lighter weight divisions. In 1897, Berry traveled to England to meet British champion Walter Crute in a bout that would remove all doubts as to who was the undisputed world bantamweight champion. Berry emerged victorious, knocking Crute out in 20 rounds. However, Crute died because of injuries sustained in the fight. Berry was never the same fighter again. He fought for 2 more years and did not score another knockout. His final 7 bouts ended in a draw. He was born March 7th, 1870, died April 5th, 1943. 70 total wins, 70 total fights, 59 wins, no losses, 9 draws, 2 no